Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Man gunned down in Steertown. A man was shot and killed in Steertown, St. Anne on Thursday morning. The deceased has been identified as 28-year-old Odini Models of Kodsa in the community. Reports from the St. Anne police are that about 10:30 a.m., residents heard loud explosions like gunshots coming from the area. When the shooting subsided, persons went to check the area and found Models' body lying in a pool of blood. The police were summoned and Models was transported to the nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Fire destroys house in Standpipe. 4 families have been displaced after fire destroyed their house in Standpipe, St. Andrew. Firefighters from the Halfway Tree and Deer Park fire stations were called to the scene at approximately 3:30 p.m. According to District Officer Norris Monroe, a child in the house was playing with a lighter, causing a sheet in one of the rooms to catch fire. The fire spread and gutted 9 rooms on the family house. This our family house will live here all our life, Polly and Finley, who said she only managed to save her important documents, told reporters. Rape victim to be pulled from public school system. As outrage intensifies over the alleged rape of a student at a St. Mary High School, the victim's family has opted to pull her from public education system. The family is fearful that if she is sent to another school, the incident may happen again, a spokesperson told reporters on condition of not being named Thursday, adding that the child will be homeschooled as she remains severely traumatized. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF, in the meantime, confirmed that it has received a report of the incident. As a principle, we don't give public information about rape cases in relation to children. We don't give details about it. The most I can tell you is that we have received a report on the matter and it is being investigated, says Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay, head of the JCF's Corporate Communications Unit. She added that she is not aware of anyone being arrested in connection with the incident. It is also not yet clear if the perpetrator is enrolled at the school where the young girl was allegedly attacked. A source close to the victim's family earlier this week stated that a male attired in a khaki uniform reportedly held a scissors at the student's neck and forced her into a bathroom where he allegedly raped her during the school afternoon shift. Another student reportedly found the victim naked on the bathroom floor. She was eventually taken to Portmore Hospital for treatment. Amid continued investigation by the JCF as well as the school's administration, the incident is sparking outrage in the community. Guidance counselor at another school in the parish, Sheldon Kidd, who is also counsel for the Akarvisa Division, has called for the community to help hunt down the perpetrator. The act that was committed by the perpetrator was callous and gruesome. I condemn it, and I wish that the perpetrator will be found. I am begging members of the school community and the public, if you know anything, please tell the police or somebody from the school community that the perpetrator can be called, he told reporters on Thursday. We are living now in a society of moral decadence. We want to send a message when the perpetrator is caught that he gets the full brunt of the law so that nobody would want to do something like that in the future, Kidd said. It must be traumatic. As a guidance counselor, I can relate to what the student is going through. The trauma is overwhelming and it will affect her for life. I can imagine the magnitude of hurt that she has felt and will be feeling, he said. Kidd lamented that it is not the first time criminals have struck at the school where the incident allegedly occurred. He said surveillance cameras are needed urgently. In 2022, the dean of discipline at the school was attacked by a number of boys. They beat him. From that time, the administration of the school has asked for some cameras to be installed so that they would have evidence and know what is happening around the school. If that was done, then we would have at least some idea of who the perpetrator of the alleged rape is, Kidd reasoned. I am expecting the powers that be to install these cameras. We do not want this cruel act to happen again to anybody else, and so we are begging for the cameras to be installed. St. Elizabeth farmers impacted by fire receive supplies from government, private sector. Farmers in St. Elizabeth who lost their crops in a fire in August, on Thursday, received supplies from the government to help them get back into full production. The Rural Agricultural Development Authority, RADA, says the farmers in Flagaman, Pedro Plains, lost over 10 acres of watermelon, cantaloupe, guinea, and irrigated equipment in the bushfire on August 16. The estimated damage was approximately $3.8 million. The farmers were provided with black tanks, irrigation equipment, seeds, fertilizer, and other material from the government in addition to other input products from the private sector. Speaking at the handing over ceremony on Thursday, Minister of Agriculture Pernell Charles said, in addition to the supplies, the government will be improving the water supply in Pedro Plains to boost production.
That we are serious about ensuring that the Pedro Plains project, the irrigation project, is completed and the money has been allocated for us to do the environmental impact assessments and other preliminary things this year to push that project. We want you in Flagaman to get the water so you can reap more and flourish and not have to deal with the limitations that have constricted you. Imagine if you get the water, what Jamaica will see in production. Right now we are at our highest production without water.
Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson spoke about the triple murder in Spring Village.
The enemy has a face and is identifiable, and you saw them the other day. That's what they look like, and that's how they operate. They don't care. They can shoot randomly. If you pressure them, they'll just kill anybody. Right? We are constrained and restrained in how we function. So when you hear the nonsense trying to make those guys, those youngsters, put themselves in harm's way, protect the rest of Jamaica as the problem, it's a nonsense. And I notice I hear calls all over the place to ask me to comment on what the minister had said about shooting. Every single time that the police and gunmen engage, the police must win. Is that clear now? Okay, every single time. All right, so, and we shoot center of mass. That's where we shoot, that's where we train to shoot. That's it. And we make sure that our people are well trained. All right? So, I don't know if there needs to be any more clarity on that. So that's all I'm going to say on that matter. At the moment, we are dealing with grieving families. Right? And all kinds of thoughts are going ahead. And you drift in and out as you think about it. Traumatized by what has happened. And even those people who are not, probably just haven't realized that they're processing things. Because you'll process it. Over the next few days, you're going to go through a cycle. At one point, you're going to be angry. At one point, you're going to be sad. At some point, you're going to be, hopeless. And then hopeful. And with the support of the organization and with the support of each other, you will get through this as well. Something like this doesn't happen and no one knows. So people know. And fortunately, there are a number of people who give us information. Mr. Phillips here, who is the commander of this division, I've indicated to him, he has given us, yesterday or the day before, a plan of how he wants to proceed from now till the end of the year. I'm sending an additional 40 police officers over here to support what he's doing, and we have some other resources that are coming to him to assist in this process. But the great assistance comes from our people. Understand, you, all, and the police are in this fight together. What I'm saying is not just for you, although you are here and present. It's for Jamaica. We are going to be pushing out till the end of the year. There are some key divisions that have been giving us a warm time, and the criminals in there have been giving our police a warm time. So this allocation is not just here, but in a number of divisions, some additional resources. They have brought their plans, very clear what they're going to do, and we're going to move at these bad guys. And the discussion must be about crime and the criminals who commit crime. We are after them. And we do not rest. We don't have a break. And we don't have a vacation. We just keep going. All right? So that is our commitment to you as grieving people, and that's our commitment to Jamaica.
Jamaica Customs says it has increased vigilance in border protection. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA, said it has increased its vigilance and process controls at the various ports of entry, which may impact the turnaround time for clearances and is therefore requesting the understanding of clients as the entity operates in accordance with all governing law. In a statement, JCA said it was cognizant of recent queries regarding a particular entity. However, in keeping with our tenets of integrity and confidentiality, the agency will not comment on the specifics regarding any of our clients. As a reminder, the agency implores all importers to provide accurate invoices regarding their shipments to their agents from a prompt clearance process and remind importers, carriers, shippers, and custom brokers that all imports are subjected to applicable customs procedures, including intervention consistent with its risk management, valuation, and other processes, the agency said. It added, the JCA wishes to assure the public that it remains committed to facilitating trade, collecting revenue on behalf of the government, and protecting Jamaica's borders and citizens. We reassure the public that we are driven by our core values, CAPIT, customer focus, accountability, professionalism, integrity, and transparency in all our operations. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell